Imagine knowing that you have a part in an outdoor Shakespeare performance. You've got your script, you know your lines, but you don't actually rehearse with your fellow performers until just days before the first public performance. Even the set and the props are made in the week leading up to the first performance. Well, that's how the Riverside players work. They're hard at work right now at Wrencombe College near Cirencester. They might just have downed tools to listen to the radio, though, this afternoon. I have a feeling they might be listening. Afternoon to everybody, if you are. This year, they're putting on Much Ado About Nothing. It all starts on Wednesday night in the stunning location of Wrencombe College, just between Cheltenham and Cirencester. We hear how the costumes are coming along a little bit later in this hour. Also hear from Joe, who at 85 is the most experienced member of the team. First of all, I went to a rehearsal, though, yesterday, met the director and her daughter, who was back with the company from her home in New Zealand.
Ben, have you got some sort of choreographed type moves now? OK. All right, then I shall just sit and watch and not interrupt. Thank you.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviours to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow folly in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love.
My name's Jacky Davis and I'm directing Much Ado About Nothing.
What are you most excited about this time now? We're just a few days away from the first performance.
It's watching everything that you've been doing intensely for the last 6 days grow. And some of the performances are really very moving. In fact, the stage manager, the assistant director and I have actually, in a couple of scenes, sat here with tears in our faces just watching what's gone on.
And the thing that really sets Riverside players apart is the fact that you all come together for this intense period of rehearsal on location. Everybody's living here, eating here, sleeping here and rehearsing here.
Yes.
What's that like as an experience?
I think it's like no other. It's extraordinary because it's family orientated, that the social part of what we do is very important. Of course, the play's the thing, but the social life and the fact that, even though we're only here for 10 or 12 days, some of the people here are my best and my oldest friends. My daughter was born into this company and she's come a long, long way to be here this year. It's wonderful to watch the next generation grow. They learn about working as part of a team. They learn about getting on with people of every age. They learn the discipline of being backstage and quiet. It's extraordinary how quickly they learn the craft.
I will sing. Since many a wooer doth commence his suit, to her he think not worthy. Yet he woos, yet will he swear he loves.
So as preparations continue then here at Wrencombe College for the performances which begin on Wednesday, some people have travelled from far and wide to be here. Ellie Deans is here from New Zealand. Now, you were part of the company a few years ago, weren't you? And I know you moved out to the other side of the world, but what brought you back?
Well, this year is my mother's 70th birthday. She is directing the play this year, and it's been a long time. So 2011 to now, and it aches every year that I can't come.
Tell us about your association, because it goes back pretty much to before you were born, is that right?
That's true. I think my first tour was 78, so I would have been in utero at that stage. And then on the outside, I was 3. That was Bognor Regis, I believe. And then from then on, I don't believe we've missed a tour.
This is a family affair here because everybody seems to grow up as part of the company, come here summer after summer. This is where you spend your summer holidays. And there's no question, this is where you want to spend your summer holidays.
Absolutely. If my mother had ever suggested that we went anywhere else, there would have been a complete mutiny. In fact, one of our very close friends who I grew up with, they went to Florida, I believe, on one tour. Both of them were absolutely distressed about it and told their parents that would never happen again. We have to be on tour.
How are you getting involved? I know you're not on stage this year. You're back from New Zealand to see everybody again and to see the performance. So are they getting you roped in to helping out?
Well, at the moment I have an 18-month-old and a 3.5-year-old, which do take up a large part of the day. But I always help out in props where I can. I'm not the most creative, a little bit of guidance though, and I'm sure I can make that work. There's set painting, that's always a good laugh and great fun to get involved there. And the bar was always my little place. I used to run the bar from when I was, I think from 18 onwards, I ran the bar. So it's nice to be back in that environment.
We'll look out for you there. And just describe what it's like in New Zealand, because you've been there for the last few summers, knowing that everybody's here and, your association is so strong with the Riverside players. What's it been like being there but not being here?
I completely ignore it. I completely ignore it. It's not happening without me. Everyone is frozen in time until I return. That's the only way I can do it.
You're back in the bosom of the family that is the Riverside Players. Have a fabulous few days.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to meet them. That's Jacky Davis, who is the director, and her daughter Ellie Deans has come back from New Zealand, as you heard, was involved throughout her childhood, moved to New Zealand and is loving being back and part of the Riverside Players once again, helping out where she can. So we'll have a chat to one of the performers, Ben. He'll be with us very soon, and we'll also be backstage looking at all the costumes being made, all the props. It's such it's a military operation. Everyone knows what they've got to do when they arrive on site at Wrentham College. And they go into this little bubble of preparation for the performance. So it starts tomorrow evening then, Much Ado About Nothing. I'll bring you all the essential details of tickets and times and all the rest of it later on in this hour of the programme. But this afternoon ahead to a performance of Much Ado About Nothing from College this week. It's being performed by the Riverside Players. Now, they come together from all over the country and in fact the world. There's someone from New Zealand and someone from Fiji there this year. And they come together having learnt their lines, but then they build the set, they paint the set, they make the props, and they rehearse together in the days leading up to the performances. So they all book sort of 3 weeks off work to come together for a really intensive time of starting from scratch, really, when it comes to costumes and props and the set. It's fascinating to see them all working together as a big team. So when I was there yesterday afternoon, I met one of the actors after his rehearsal.
I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife. And now had he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. My name's Ben Baxter. I'm playing Benedict.
So we've just heard you in rehearsal. Not long to go until the first performance. How is everything going?
Well, so far, yeah, we got on set now. We had a bit of weather which held us up because the painters have to do their job as well. But we got on set, done a couple of full run-throughs, so it's looking good. Just a few bits to tighten up, but it's getting
That's it, yeah. Last few rehearsals now before you're on stage on Wednesday. And it's a really intense time, isn't it? Everybody coming together from all over the country, having already learnt your lines by the time you get here. Is that the idea?
It is the idea. Nowadays, I think people are pretty good at it. Certainly, I think in the past there have been, probably when people were younger, taking a few more risks, fresher memories and that kind of thing. But as people get older, they feel the need to come knowing everything.
So when do you find out which character you're playing, and how long do you have the script for before you come here?
The casting was done in April. In theory, we've had the script since then. The cuts were sent out a bit later on, but I started learning some of the bits that I was pretty sure weren't going to get cut a bit earlier. So been learning the lines on and off on my commute and stuff for a good few months now.
Pray get us some excellent music, for tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Fare you well.
My name's Mary Farnell, and I'm the company director of the Riverside Players.
I can't imagine why you've come back to Wrentham College again. We're just sitting in the sunshine, looking at the views. This is a fabulous place to put on an outdoor performance.
It is. We're very, very lucky. This is our 5th year here now. The school welcome us back and make us feel very much at home for the 2 weeks that we're here. We do perform in the grounds of the school, and it's an outdoor performance, but we do have facilities to move indoors should we have inclement weather, which, according to the forecast, shouldn't be the case this week, but we're always mindful of that, so we bear that in mind.
Watching the forecast very closely, fingers crossed after the heat wave. So here you all are then, a group of 50 people getting together from all corners of the country and the world, actually, somebody from New Zealand too, going through this really intense time of getting everything ready, getting the set prepared, the props prepared, the actors as well. You must love this intense time when everyone comes together.
It's the culmination of 12 months of hard work. We are a remote company, which is what makes us unique. We live throughout the UK and beyond, as you say, and we do a lot of groundwork throughout the year, and once the play is cast in about May, the actors learn their lines so that when we arrive, that's not something they have to concentrate on. We started rehearsal 6 days ago. We do approximately 10 hours of rehearsal every day, so we've worked out that we probably get more hours of rehearsals in than most amateur companies that meet once or twice a week over 6 months.
And you've been going since the 1950s, I believe. Much Ado About Nothing this year, which is something you have performed in the past. But I guess 1999 is a long time ago, isn't it, the last time? So the people, the personnel will have changed, and the performance itself will have changed.
Yeah, definitely. There are 1 or 2 plays that lend themselves to an outdoor production, particularly with a company like ours. We have
members ranging from 18-month-old babies. Well, our youngest is actually 11 months old, and our oldest member is 85 years old, and we have every age in between. It's a big family, and we all look after one another. We have a lot of actors, but we also have a lot of non-acting members who are just as vital to this company and keep us together. And if we didn't have lights, we wouldn't have actors visible. If we didn't have sound, we wouldn't be able to sing, and all of those other things. It's just a huge ensemble piece of work that we are very, very proud of.
Lots of teamwork involved. That's Mary Farnell, the director of the Riverside Players, and Ben Baxter, you heard, playing Benedict in Much Ado About Nothing. So the first performance is tomorrow night, 7:45, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday, and also a matinee at 2:30 on Saturday. Details on tickets, how much they cost, where you can get them from, all coming up. Let's head back to Rentham College then. We're looking ahead to this performance of Much Ado About Nothing, performed by the Riverside Players, who come together from all over the country, as we've been saying, in the stunning grounds of the college. They spend a week building the set, painting the set, making the props, going shopping in Stroud and Cirencester for more props and costumes, and of course rehearsing. They're performing each evening then from tomorrow until Saturday, including the matinee on Saturday afternoon. So I've been to see the props and the costume departments.
Right, so we're going to try and do a little dart in the back here. I don't want to pinch you. Just scream if I put this needle through. Good. Oh, I think that looks all right. Excellent. And turn round.
How does it look?
Yeah, it looks brilliant.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So, Nicola, you're just trying on your wedding dress, which has been made here at Rentham College ahead of the performance. So, how are you feeling at the moment?
Yeah, good actually. Really excited to put the show on and do the tech rehearsal this evening. I think it should be a good play once everything's all together. So I'm looking forward to playing Hero.
And how's the dress?
It's lovely. It's a lovely sort of ivory silk with a paisley pattern on it. So I'm hoping it will look great under the stage lights.
And everybody here very hard at work, getting all the costumes ready?
Yes, absolutely. Non-stop sewing all week.
One of the people doing all the sewing is Mary Lou Stevenson, so it's a bit like backstage at Strictly, as I imagine backstage at Strictly might be. Lots of sewing machines, lots of trying on of dresses.
Absolutely.
How are things here at the moment?
They're going really well, actually. We've because of the setting, a lot of the chaps are in uniform, and we can't make those. We're not tailors, we're just sewers. So we've hired a lot of them from the Cotswold costumes near Stroud. But we've made a lot of the women's costumes, especially 4 wedding dresses.
Wow, 4 wedding dresses in a week? Is that really?
Yes, 4 wedding dresses in less than a week. We only started on Wednesday, so yeah. And a few of the little people. There are quite a lot of children in the production, and as in various roles, and we've made dresses and skirts and things for them.
So Jo Cunningham is with me, along with Helen Southwick. Now, Jo, you've been here for how many years as part of the Riverside Players?
52. I joined in 1966 when we did Under Milk Wood.
And here you are at Rentham College with these amazing views. You're sitting quietly working hour after hour, getting things ready and helping with the props. Just explain, what have you been doing here today?
Well, it was decided that they would have one of those plants called, I think, mother-in-law's tongue. And of course, I had a vague idea of what it was like, but not a complete one. So one of our members was able to print off an actual picture. And so since then, I've been making them, and my daughter and I went over to a place called Scrap Store, and for minimal sums of money you can virtually pick up anything they have there, and lo and behold, it only costs £2.50.
The fabric used for the mother-in-law's tongue is actually rolled blind fabric, which is quite stiff and paints up beautifully with green paint, and I think will look very good on the set.
You're putting the hours in here. What else have you got to do before the curtain goes up?
I've made a desk. We bought an old table for £5, cut it up and added a bit to it. It seems to work.
They're trusting you with this?
Yes. I'm afraid they tend to trust me with an awful lot, and usually if there's something broken, Jo, can you fix it?
Helen's flown over from Fiji to help out with the team here. I know you came over last year. Here you are again. What have you managed to achieve so far in the week that you've been here? Because I know there's a lot to do, isn't there?
Yes, there is a lot to do. I had quite a bit of planning to do beforehand, so I had a props list. Mainly, I've been concentrating on making masks for the masked ball scene in the play, which is right up my alley. I just love doing anything with glue. So it's going to look pretty stunning visually, I think.
I've spoken to someone who's come over from New Zealand the first time in a few years, saying she really misses it when she's not here. Do you sit there looking at the calendar thinking, great, I'm going to be going over there very soon?
I do. It is the highlight of my year. It's something I really, really look forward to.
And you get to work with your dad.
And I get to boss my dad around because I'm the head of props and he's my assistant.
Yes. Can you imagine having to take orders from your daughter?
How does that go?
Oh, well, we haven't quarrelled yet.
That's Joe Cunningham, been with them for 52 years. Helen, who's come over from Fiji. Mary Lou Stevenson, the dressmaker, and Nicola, who's actually in the performance having her dress just fitted yesterday when I was there. So it all starts then 7:45 each night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday, 2:30 matinee on Saturday. Tickets are from £10 and you can get them at riversideplayers.org.uk. So that's all one word, riversideplayers.org.uk, or the Cirencester Visitor Information Centre. That's how you can get your tickets. And it all starts, I'm sure they're hard at work rehearsing right now. It really helps if the weather's good. So fingers crossed. They can perform indoors, actually. They said if it does happen to rain one of those evenings, they can go indoors. But very much hoping it's going to be an